What is up, players? It's WarbossTae up in his mug. Welcome to my day 30 video for the WarbossTae 2016 painting challenge. We only have one more video left for my challenge that I wanted to finish back before August. It's slowly bled into September, and that's okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to push to the end, and I'm just really happy to be able to show you guys all of this work that I've done. It's the Island of Blood kit set. Really, so many models, so much fun, and so many great opportunities to practice painting because of just the wealth of models that you get. So we're going to be taking a look first at the Skaven here, and just a very simple color scheme for those of you who weren't here or don't remember or haven't seen my first videos on it. The theme is that you've got your Skaven slaves, the ones with the more drab, earthy tones, really just rags with red as an accent color, and then you've got your clan rats here that have more of the standard red armor with the cream colored robes, very not as dingy. I don't want to say clean, they're not clean, but they're definitely not as ratty looking as the ones on the slaves. And the whole idea was that these guys are the actual clan rats, and they signify their rank by tying red string and using red rope and red cloth as a spot color, red icons on their weapons. And that's because the Skaven are so sneaky. These guys are dressing themselves up as the rabble, as the cannon fodder, but they're really the more experienced than the actual troops. And these guys are the slaves. Their armor is made out of like cardboard painted red, and they've been given brighter cloth, brighter colors, just so that the enemy can focus and fixate on them and go after them. And their status is indicated by the yellow. There's bits of yellow tied around everything, which for Skaven is a cowardly color, so they know when they're walking around before the battle who the real OGs are, the real tough guys, and who the cannon fodder is. So yeah, I love that, you know, coming up with concepts and ideas, and my client here is such a great one to work with. He allowed me to really go to town and encouraged me to just, you know, churn these guys out and get them painted. I think if it wasn't for the little hiccup with the Army Painter Quickshade fiasco, then I think I could have gotten these done a lot sooner. But still, very happy with what I was able to do. I haven't even really done any basing. You'll notice that the basing is just Mournfang brown across the board, and that's because I wanted to give my client something to work with, but I'm going to let him kind of highlight that up because I wanted to get these done as quickly as possible. So yeah, very simple techniques, a lot of basic, just base coating, and then using that quick shade, and then some simple highlighting, very minimal, because after using the quick shade and the anti-shine varnish, I did have to go back over and just pick up some of the colors, but it really was not too bad. Okay, why don't I answer the daily question now, and then we'll wrap up with the high elves. So the question of the day for day 30 was if you could talk to somebody attempting the challenge, the WarbossTae 2016 painting challenge, what advice would you give them? What kind of wisdom would you want to impart? And so my best advice, and I haven't watched really anybody else's videos, I haven't had time, but I hope this is kind of like a recurring theme for anybody who's made it this far and has answered the day 30 question, is just don't give up. Just keep painting, keep working. We've thrown the deadline out the window, so there's no pressure for, you know, a kind of a time crunch to get everything done in a certain amount of time. We all want to paint as much as we can, as quickly as we can, but the reason why I got rid of the time limit at all, and I'm just saying, you know, just make 30 videos, make 31 videos, and just call each one like a day blank video, because I want you to feel good. I want you to accomplish what you set out to do, and I want you to have a finished product like this, like the Guild Ball team, like my Amazons and Cyborg Dwarfs miniatures, and just be able to sit back at the end of the challenge and say, wow, I really did a lot. I accomplished a lot, and look back and be proud of what you did. So my advice, going back to the question, answering the question, is do not give up. Don't ever give up. Keep painting, keep putting your brush to your miniatures, and don't stop. As discouraging and disheartening as some of the work might feel, you're going to feel so much better once you crest that little hump and you clear the obstacles, and you get to the fun part, which is really just the final highlighting and the basing and getting to the end. So hey, if you can put on a base coat, you can put on a shade. If you can put on a shade, you can put on the highlights. And if you can put on the highlights, then you can glue on some basing material and paint up some bases, varnish your models, and put them on a table like this and say, I did it. Okay, let's take a look at some high elves, huh? And to close out the video, here are my high elves painted in the Shadow Warriors of Nagareath color scheme. That's basically replacing any of the white cloth you might see on normal high elf figures with Thunderhawk blue. And when you combine it with the kind of oceanic colors, the nautical colors of the Lothern Sea Guard, which for me were Cantor blue and that Thunderhawk blue, and then a little bit of Sotek green, then yeah, you get some really, really cool looking effects. And Incubi Darkness also. So you see on those shields for these Lothern Sea Guards, I've got Cantor blue at the bottom for the waves, and then the dragon is Mephiston red for that little spot color of red, and the background, the evening sky, is Incubi Darkness. So when you combine those three colors, Incubi Darkness, Cantor blue, and Thunderhawk blue, you have a really cool looking Lothern Sea Guard in both the I guess descriptive term as well as the, you know, as a when you're painting colors, cool tones and warm tones. Very, very cool. Very cool. Hey, cool. Same here for the wizard. I just took a look at the color schemes online, took a couple of pictures as reference, and instead of using white, I used that Thunderhawk blue. But I used that Cantor blue to maintain that dark sky blue color for his robes, and a little bit of Incubi Darkness for the inside of the robes to show a little contrast. The skin tones for the elves are all, I think they were all Kislev Flesh, and then shaded with that Quick Shade, and brought back up with Kislev Flesh. And here we go again. You see that Thunderhawk blue is a very somber and cool tone right on the banner there, and then on all the sleeves for the Swordmasters here, and then at the bottom of that hem of their I guess clothes underneath their armor. But then for the armor trim, I went with Cantor blue. So that's consistent for everything, just like how the red is a spot color that's consistent with everything. The Cantor blue as the color for the trim for the armor is the same. So you see these guys, the Elysian Reavers, have that their horse's armor is Cantor blue trim with that Thunderhawk blue underneath, and Cantor blue for the front of the reins, as well as the inside part of their armor. So you can see with them, with their arms up, their sleeves are Thunderhawk blue, but the inner lining of their armor is Cantor blue. Creates a very, very interesting color scheme. So that's how I would do. If I think the Nagareath color scheme is the most awesome. I think their fluff, the Nagareath fluff, is the most awesome. How the high elves of Nagareath are the most I guess savage and bloodthirsty, and all they want to do is kill because of what Malekith, the Dark Elf Prince, did to their land, and kind of split apart their whole region, and kind of turned their whole land into this very swampy and ugly place. I think that's what the fluff was, if I remember correctly. And everybody is distrustful of the Nagareath because that's kind of where the Dark Elves were born, so I love that they're kind of having to fight off the prejudices of the rest of their countrymen, where the rest of their countrymen are all into, you know, honor and glittering armor and swords and chivalry and just majestic ranks and ranks of spearmen and all this like gleaming goodness and purity. These guys, all they want to do is kill as many Dark Elves as they can before they get taken down. I love that. So great, so gritty. And here we go for the prints on the Griffin. The Griffin was really easy to paint. I was very intimidated because it's a bigger model and it has all these feathers. If I was doing a Warboss standard and I actually got to do a little dry brushing, I would definitely go back over, because you can get some really cool looking effects with some dry brushes. But just having the base color alone with the quick shade came out really nice. Just Mournfang Brown, Dryad Bark. I think the beak was done in Averland Sunset, and yeah, it was a pretty bright yellow, but once I shaded it with the quick shade, it toned down real nice. And there's the prints on the back. You might notice his armor is gleaming a little bit more than everybody else, because I use I think it's called Stormhost Silver, which is, I think, just their modified Runefang Steel color for silver. It's beautiful when you use it to pick out details. If you take a look at his helmet, I picked out each of the, I don't know what you call it, those pins on the silver wings, and they look real great. And I use it to kind of buff up his helmet a little bit too. So especially after the mishap with the quick shade and anti-shine varnish, that I think came out really nicely. So I wanted to do that for him because he's kind of like the leader, general of this entire host of high elves, and everybody else has this pretty consistent color. So that is it. That's my day 30 video. It is the Island of Blood commission that I was contracted to do, and I'm really proud of it. You can check out the pictures on my Facebook and my Twitter at WarbossTae. And I'm also going to be doing a little article summary of what it was like to work on this project, if you want to read it, on my Patreon. So all of the links are down below, and of course you can check out all of my videos, as well as everybody else who's been posting on My Wargaming Life. I'll put the link to that below. And hey, just because we're plugging everything, if you are a fan of fantasy, sci-fi, literature, and want a short, quick story to read, and you've got some space on your phone or your tablet, you can download some of my original work. My pen name is Eli Taff, E-L-I-T-A-F-F Jr., and I've got that information below in the link as well. So yeah, download some of my stuff, give it a read, and see what I've been doing while I'm away from the painting table. And okay, I guess there's just one more day left to kind of wrap up this entire 2016 painting challenge. The trials, the tribulations, the great successes, and the heartbreaking, I guess, setbacks and defeats that we've been going through for the past couple of months on my end. So I hope you stay tuned for that. The day 31 is going to be great. And I've also got a bunch of secondary objective videos I'm going to be filming and uploading as well, because I've been kind of falling behind on that. So hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope you're doing great. And remember, as I always say, it is the best time to be painting miniatures. There is no better time than now. So pick up that paintbrush, get to painting. What are you waiting for? Stop procrastinating, put down that donut, and get painting.